you're in the toughest division, wouldn't you think, in football? I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are a pretty damn good team, and they're 1-2, and they're the only team of sub 500 in the NFC South.
Yeah, I don't think there's any debate about the NFC South being the toughest division. It's been that way now for a few years. I mean, last year alone we had 3 playoff teams. You know, both the NFC wildcards, you know, came out of our division. So it's a competitive division, and a lot of that has to do with the quarterback play. You know, we're seeing, you know, now four with the way things are going down in Tampa. You know, we got 4 high-level quarterback plays going on, and you know, that's kind of the exception to the rule. If you look around the league year in and year out, there's typically a top-heavy team with a solid quarterback, and then the rest of the teams are kind of searching. And you know, we've had, you know, not the luxury because we got to compete against them, but our division has had that where they've had, you know, prominent quarterbacks now at, you know, minimum 3 of the 4 teams now for over 8 years. So it's a competitive division. It's a good division, and one that, you know, 6 games a year you're going to have your work cut out for you.
What'd you think of Thursday Night Football, Greg? I mean, that was a track meet in the LA
awesome.
Coliseum.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, just to see, you know, again, you know, you say a track meet and great offensive skill positions, great offensive play calling and scheme, and fast, athletic, dynamic players, but, you know, going against defenses that by no means were slouches. I mean, what LA is doing offensively, let alone what they did last night to, you know, last year's best defense in the league statistically, is pretty incredible. So I think if the NFL could bottle that game up and produce that on a consistent basis week in and week out, I think that's what they would aim for. The traditionalists who want to see some defense and all that, I think those days are moving on with the way the game is designed and kind of the handcuffs that have been put on defensive players to play pass defense and whatnot. So it was a heck of a game. I think everybody who watched it came away saying, you know, that's football at a high level, and that's, you know, for a fan, that's very, very entertaining.
Well, what about for a player here? You know, obviously you're an offensive player, and you're going to want to score points. That's what helps put food on the table, roof overhead. But to paraphrase one of the quarterbacks from last night, do you like that? Do you like the way that the NFL wants to bottle stuff and uncork it for fans?
I mean, at the end of the day, those are the games that entertain, right? And we are in an entertaining business. We are in a position where our job is to go out there and you know, put on a great product. And a lot of people in today's world, they want to see action. They want to see scoring. They want to see touchdowns. They want to see quarterbacks throw for 400 yards. You know, fortunately in my career, you know, back in Chicago and now obviously for 8 years here in Carolina, we've been lucky that we've had a very good defense. You know, so we're in one of those teams every year. We got a top 5 defense. So we're not typically used to, you know, giving up 1 million points. Our guys have done a great job kind of adjusting to those rules and not kind of falling in with the pack. But generally speaking, scoring is up, yardage given up is up, you know, across the league. And I don't think it's by accident. I don't think it's because the defenses aren't as good. I just think offenses are getting more complex and more dynamic and along that, the reality is rules are geared towards offense. And I think that's just being honest and real with ourselves. And I think it's hard to be a defensive player right now with the way things are structured.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.